Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we've got something a bit different. It's a personal travelogue from August 2025. Charts, a journey across Canada.
Yeah, Quebec out to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And what's great is it's so much more than just, we went here, then here. It's full of these little observations, some really practical travel stuff, and a lot about connecting with people.
Exactly. Kind of makes you think about what makes a trip really memorable. So our mission today, unpack the highlights, sure, but also the hidden gems, how the big views mix with these really personal moments.
Right. It's about the journey itself. So it kicks off in Quebec. There's a lovely visit with family mentioned, and then this trip out to Percé.
Per se rock. Iconic, right? The drive itself sounds stunning, winding along the coast.
Definitely. But the real deep dive, pardon the pun, is the boat tour to El Bonaventure. No permanent human residence there since 1971.
Wow.
Yeah, now it's just teeming with wildlife. Over 100,000 birds, seals. It's like a snapshot of pure nature.
Incredible. But right after that beauty, the practicalities hit,
Oh, yeah. The big travel day. 522 kilometers.
which sounds like a lot, but then it took 8.5 hours.
Exactly. With stops, a time change. And pulling a trailer, remember, it really shows you the actual time involved in these long hauls.
It's a good reminder about pacing yourself.
Mm.
And speaking of practicalities, the fuel situation.
Oh, man. Cutting it close. They made it with only 59 kilometers left in the tank.
Yikes. That's a serious lesson in planning ahead, isn't it? Especially in less populated areas.
Absolutely. You need that contingency, especially with something like a trailer affecting your mileage.
And that wasn't the only, let's say, unexpected event. There was a forest fire detour.
Right. They had to find a bypass. It's such a timely point, how environmental factors increasingly shape our travels now.
It really highlights the need for flexibility, doesn't it? And access to real-time information.
For sure. But what's interesting is even with that disruption, they found this nice municipal park in Jardine. Sometimes the detours work out.
True. Okay, so shifting gears from logistics. They headed for Cape Breton Island.
Yep, the Tabit Trail, famous drive. They spent a good 10 hours exploring. And there's this really touching note about visiting Judique in Inverness County.
Ah, because that's where their grandfather was from.
Exactly. Maternal grandfather. You can feel how that personal connection just transforms the scenic drive into something, well, deeper.
It adds that whole layer of heritage.
Yeah.
But challenges continued, didn't they? The trails were closed.
Yeah, all the trails in Nova Scotia at that time due to high fire risk. So, another adjustment, it kind of forces you to find the beauty in the journey itself, maybe just the drive. When planned activities fall through, resilience.
Definitely. Then comes what sounds like a really lovely part of the trip. Peggy's Cove.
Beautiful spot. And a seafood lunch sounds perfect, but the core of it seems to be visiting old family friends.
Danny and Joan Passione. Supper, pie, reminiscing. That sounds like the heart of it.
It really does. This is where that theme of personal connection shines through. It's not just about the sights. And that carries through the final leg back to Ontario, more stops, visits with friends and family in Kingston.
And that reflection the traveler makes about retirement.
Yes, about how nice it is to finally have the time to travel with her husband and have these long-awaited visits. That feels like the real takeaway.
So wrapping this up, what this deep dive shows us is it's a story of balance. You've got the epic Canadian landscapes per se, Bonaventure, the Cabot Trail.
Right, the grandeur. But balanced against the real-world stuff, the long drives, the fire detours, the near misses.
And woven through it all, maybe the most important thread is those human connections. The family visits, the old friends. They weren't just stops along the way, they were the way, in a sense, especially enriching in retirement.
Couldn't agree more. It elevates the whole experience beyond just sightseeing.
So maybe a thought for all of you listening.
Right.
Considering how this journey mixed the big views with these close personal moments, how might our own travels change if we really lean into both? Embrace the planned stops and the unexpected people we meet along the way.
Something to definitely think about.
Until our next deep dive.